Hey everyone, so I just finished my first week on a compounded Tirzepatide, and a few things surprised me more than I expected. First off, the provider that I went through, the approval process was insanely fast. I thought I would be at least doing it for a couple of days, but it was much shorter. Then I was really surprised by my results just after 1 week, and that I've already been noticing some signs with my hunger and how I feel when I'm full or things like that. So in this video, I want to walk through my real life experience, how I got started, my weight and measurements, how I've been feeling, what the injection was actually like, and how I'm approaching this alongside my current workout plan. And just to be transparent with everyone, I am going through a group called Fridays. I do have a referral code for $120 off if you want to check them out. Now, I'm not getting any specific cash rewards. This referral bonus is actually what they provide, I think, to everyone who signs up with them. But it was just one of the groups that I felt the strongest to go and try. So I'll leave that all in the description so you can go check it out if you're interested. But this video is more meant to be informative and share what my first week's actually been like. So for me, I decided to start the compounded Tirzepatide because I've been focused on weight loss and body recomposition. If you followed any of my previous videos, you know that I have done a number of weight loss type products and tested a lot of things. I'm not just trying to lose weight as fast as possible. I'm trying to lose fat, keep muscle, and actually track kind of what's happening with my body instead of just guessing. I've been tracking a lot already, weight, body composition, so that's things such as like fat, muscle, my measurements, neck, hips, arms, my workouts, my hunger, energy, all of that I've been tracking over the course of this for years. And one of the biggest things I wanted help with was appetite control, especially later in the day or those times when hunger starts to feel louder than it should. Often evening snacking, emotional eating was a big component for me. And it really led to me being able to overeat. So that's a big part of why I decided to give this a try. One thing that genuinely surprised me right away was how fast this process was. With Fridays, I was able to go get a meeting virtually on my phone with a provider and a prescription within about an hour. Literally, I went in, signed up, filled out the form, scheduled a meeting, and had a meeting, got a prescription within an hour. It didn't feel super rushed. It didn't feel that it was just being pushed through with some quick appointment. I actually felt like I came away understanding the process a lot better. The provider took time to actually talk with me and help me understand what the medicines were, what the options were, and how everything would go going forward. Another thing I appreciated was that they also talked through the nausea medication, which I was not anticipating. They were willing to prescribe me, if I ended up needing it, some nausea medication. Because that's one symptom I've heard a lot of people talk about, is this nausea component of taking these injections of Tirzepatide or Ozempic, whatever it might be. So I actually really like that because it was just one of my biggest concerns of all of this, having, family, friends go through this. And what was great with that prescription is I didn't have to go get it. They allowed me to choose. They sent the request in and it was my choice to go pick it up or not. In my case, going this route was actually cheaper than going through my insurance, which surprised me a little bit. That obviously may not be for everyone, so definitely check your situation. But for me, this was probably one of the bigger pluses, was being able to get this taken care of for much cheaper than I actually anticipated. Now, let's talk about the injections, because I know a lot of people, that's one of the biggest things they worry about. And I'll be honest, I don't like needles. So I've donated plasma, I've donated blood. Of course, I go get shots and whatever it might be required for my doctor, but I don't like them. I'm one of those people that I don't want to see them go in, but once they're in, I'm fine, right? So I look away if I'm doing blood, but I'm fine with watching it afterwards. So this kind of led to a unique experience because I don't like needles, and this compounded stuff doesn't come in one of those fancy one-shot tubes. It's just a vial with some insulin needles. So that was one of the things I had to get over. But honestly, when I saw the needles, they were so small. When I did my first needle trial, well, my first injection, I didn't even really feel it go in, which was a huge relief. I had to build this part up in my head way more than it needed to be. And because it's only once a week, I feel like I'm going to be able to manage this and any concerns or fears I might have going forward. It's something that I had to, if I had to do it every day, I think this would be much more difficult. But once a week, I feel like that's doable. So if that's one of the things holding you back, I completely understand. But for me, that ended up being much easier than I expected. Now, let's get into the numbers for week 1, because I know that's going to be one thing that I was interested in. Now, I've done a lot of weight loss stuff. I work out a bunch. So everything for me is like, okay, well, week 1 is great, but let's see what week 2, 3, and 4 do. My starting weight was 281 pounds, which for me, I was not super thrilled with, obviously. So here's the thing. So waist was 47 inches, hips 44 inches, chest was 48 inches, calves 19 inches, biceps about 15 and a half inches, and then neck was 17 inches. After the first week, those were my starting numbers for this first week. After that first week, my weight actually came down to 278.2. So that's about 2.8 pounds down. Now, that's from where I started. And of course, there's a lot that could take into effect, like maybe inflammation went down, maybe my water weight went down, not actual fat loss. But even my updated measurements were promising. Neck stayed about the same at 17 inches. Bicep stayed the same. Calf stayed the same. I started measuring my thigh at 27.5 inches. My waist actually came down to 46.5, so half an inch down. My hips were at 45.5 inches and chest was 49. So you can see that some things went down and some things maybe fluctuated up or stayed the same. Now, obviously this is only week 1, and I want to try and be realistic. Hydration, sodium, inflammation, meal timings, digestion, all of that can affect measurements and weight, but I am measuring at the same time, at the same day. I want to look at every single number going forward and see what the overall trend is, not just a 1 week thing. The biggest thing I noticed in 1 week was definitely appetite and fullness. I didn't anticipate anything to really come that fast in the first week. So I was surprised when I was starting to feel fuller a little longer on some meals, and I didn't feel the pull to keep eating. So that's a huge win. And it's not in a bad way that I didn't feel that I felt that fullness. It was more like that I was just satisfied, that I had that full feeling, not that I wanted to be sick or anything like that. Food didn't suddenly sound gross. I know I've been talking to some people and they say that food just sounded gross right away, and that's not how I've been feeling. I can still eat. It just felt like the volume my body wanted was a little lower. Because this was one of the main reasons that I wanted this, I was very pleased with it. But to be honest, with this first week, it was only a couple days, maybe 2 days right after injection is when I had this kind of fullness feeling. The rest of the days in this first week were controllable. I didn't have the munchies in the evening, and I still felt like I could eat and feel full. I didn't feel like a bottomless pit. So it just wasn't as prevalent as those first 2 days that I was doing it. As far as side effects, with week one. Pretty manageable. Like I said, I know nausea is a big part of what people are worried about. I have not felt nausea yet, but I am on like the starter introduction dose. So who knows, that might come later on. So everything's been extremely manageable. I've had less hunger, I felt fuller faster, and I've been able to focus on intentionally eating protein first. That is one of the things that their provider said to me, is make sure you're getting protein, because if you're not eating enough protein, not only will you lose fat, but a lot of people are feeling that they also lose muscle strength and muscle mass. So I want to make sure to keep that at a minimum, because I do work out. And just for context, I'm not just doing this on its own, right? I'm also training. So I'm doing strength training 3 times a week. I generally structure it like you would expect, push, pull, and then legs splits for those days. And then I also do 1 cycling session that can go, 30 to 45 minutes once a week. So I'm still lifting. I'm still trying to stay active. I'm still trying to keep my protein up. My goal here isn't just to eat less, but it's to pose my body to not just hold on to weight and fat, but also maintain and or build muscle. That's why I think it's important to talk about these tools as not magic, because even when the appetite comes down, I still need to make the smart choices on eating protein, staying hydrated, and being consistent, because it's so easy to just want to eat what you want instead of prioritizing protein. If I had to say what surprised me the most in this first week, it would probably be 3 things, okay? First was how fast the process was. Honestly, I didn't expect that. I thought I'd be out for a couple days, but I was able to get this done quickly, get started. What it was is you actually get it mailed to you, and it did take 2 or 3 days to show up. I was on a work trip at that time, so I had my spouse make sure to put the medication in the fridge when it came, and then I took it when I came back. Second was how easy the injection was, especially with how it was building up in my head. I was really building it up as this is gonna hurt, this is gonna be unpleasant. I didn't love watching the needle, but then when I put it in and I injected, I was surprised at how effortless and painless it was. Third, how quickly I noticed the changes. Now, of course, like I said, I was surprised at my weight going down. There's a lot that can factor into that. But I was surprised on that first few days that I still did feel a little hunger and fullness control. The part that stood out pretty quickly, now I do want to keep this realistic, as it is just week 1. I'm not trying to act like 7 days changed my whole life, right? I'm only down 2 pounds, and that might not even be maintained. We will see. That's why I want to do these updates. But I think I saw enough to feel encouraged to continue on to week 2, week 3 and 4, and hopefully beyond. Honestly, this is probably the best word that I could feel from this, if I were to summarize all of this into one word, is that I feel encouraged. Like, I'm actually encouraged about something like this for the first time. I'm not taking 20 supplements every 20 minutes to reduce hunger, to do this, that, and the other thing. It's not magic, it's not miserable, and it's not a transformation overnight, but it's encouraging, and honestly, I think I actually needed that. More than anything, I needed the encouragement to know that this could be possible for me. If you're thinking about starting a compounded Tirzepatide or Ozempic, whatever it might be, my biggest advice would be go into it with a plan. Don't act like it's going to be magic. Don't pretend that everything will be fixed overnight. Don't just focus on getting the medication, but focus on your protein, right? Get some protein bars, some protein drinks, chicken, beef, whatever protein you can get, and at meals, eat that first. Then your workout plan, even if it's just moving and taking steps, understand your expectations. Don't think that it'll happen overnight. Like, this is a long-term effort, and make sure to structure your life around it. It's not that hard. Like, it's not like if you've taken some other supplement products where the structure literally is your life. You have to take it 20 minutes, 30 minutes before you eat. You have to follow up with this. You have to take that after you eat. This is a little easier, but just structure your meals. Think about what you want to eat beforehand, because if you're feeling full through the day, you might forget to eat. And that could, yeah, you might lose more weight, but then you're not helping your body maintain the strength and health that you have underneath all of this. Overall, just being honest, my first week on this was a positive experience in almost every way. The process was fast, the provider was great and friendly, the shot was easier than I thought, and I've already noticed some benefits that help me strive towards this next week, couple weeks, maybe months. And honestly, as a first week update, I'm very impressed. If you guys want me to keep this and to give updates as I go, to do a week 2 update, a week 3, a week 4, make sure to subscribe, like this video, drop your thoughts and stuff in the comments. If you have questions that I can't answer, drop them down there too. I'll try to answer what comes through as much as I can. And again, I'm going through Fridays, and to check them out, I put down their URL and then my referral code, $120 off. And I'll be honest, it will also give me $120 off my future purchases of the compounded Tirzepatide. So you're gonna help, I'll try to help you out. You're gonna try and help me out, which will be great. And if I'm able to get, even just 50 likes on this video, I'll continue to do a week 2 update and so forth and so on. So I really do appreciate it, guys. Again, I appreciate your time. I know this was a longer video, but a week 1 update. We'll see how things go. I am on this introduction dosage for the next several weeks. I think at about week 5 is when they can increase the amount of the compound. But as of right now, that's it. So thank you for watching.